What makes up a good feed ration, and what is the importance of doing dry matters?
Well, the first thing you have to understand whenever you're wanting to do formulate a ration is the first question you have to ask is, what am I going to feed? And in this case, it'll be cattle. And now you have to determine is it steers or heifers, so we'll feed steers in this situation. And the next thing you have to know is what weight animal are you starting with? And are they just weaned? Are they coming off of grass, off of pasture, off of wheat? You know, what's the situation that they're coming from? And once you know all those, then you can plug all those factors and variables in, and you can formulate your ration based on all those different variables. Once you've decided that for example, let's just use a 5-weight steer coming off a wheat pasture that's coming right into the feedlot to be finished. The first thing we need to do is we know what the animal weighs, okay, and then we'll know at that point how many days it's going to take to finish that animal, because we have a set of guidelines from the NRC, the National Research Council, that gives us the caloric intake required for that animal per day to gain a certain amount of weight per day, so we can formulate based on that, knowing that we can achieve a certain average daily gain and a certain conversion rate on our feed to attain the end result of a finished fattened calf. The first thing you need to know, of course, I said, is the weight, and then you need to know how much you're going to gain each day, how much you want to gain each day, and you're going to have to meet that caloric intake. Okay, so we'll take the NRC, we'll take the ingredients that we have on hand, and we'll do basically a least cost formulation with the ingredients that we can use in the largest proportions that are the least expensive to give us the necessary caloric intake for that day. Once the animal gets in here, we get them on feed. We'll have rations of different concentration levels. We'll start with about a 65% concentrate diet, so that means there's about 65% concentrate, and the remaining portion, 35%, is roughage. And then over about a 30-day period, we'll take that from a 65% concentrate to a 90% concentrate, and that's going to be 90% concentrate and 10% roughage, and that's the diet that they'll finish on. And they'll be on that diet for probably about 160 to 180 days, if they'll gain about 3.5 pounds a day. And you asked the other question about what is the importance of dry matter. Well, whenever we look at the intake on an animal, we like to look at the intake based on dry matter intake. So when you feed a feed, the feed ingredients are full of water. And some ingredients, like alfalfa hay and cottonseed hulls, are around 10% moisture level, whereas corn silage and sweet bran and a lot of those wet products are about 30% dry matter. So in 100 pounds, you've got 30 pounds of dry and 70 pounds of water. Whereas it's just opposite in the alfalfa and the cottonseed hulls, you'll have 90% dry and 10% water, or 10 pounds of water. So what you've got to do is, the reason dry matter is so important is you need to know how much that animal is eating on a dry matter basis, because if they're eating 40 pounds of a diet that's 60% water, well, the actual dry matter is not that much. But if they're eating 20 pounds of a diet that's 85% dry matter, then you can see the difference in the dry matter intake. So that's the importance of dry matters, is that you know exactly how much actual feed they're eating and not water inside the feed. So it's critical to know that, because you know, like I said, a lot of animals will consume really a high level of a high moisture diet, and you think you're really getting somewhere, but you're really not, because the actual dry matter is the same as if you were feeding the diet that was 85% dry matter. So that kind of explains where we're at as to what we're feeding, how we achieve an average daily gain, to achieve a certain conversion rate, to get the animal from 500 pounds to 1,350 pounds over a certain number of days, and the importance of the dry matter content of the feed ingredients that we're feeding, because those are what you calculate everything based on. So I hope that answers all your questions.
It does. Thank you.